Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. So we are starting our today's session, today's meditation session at Tikana, and I am Dr. Atikul Haq Mujumdar, and actually our today's session is very interesting science topic, and it is called a quantum field. And quantum field theory, it's a newer, comparatively newer field of quantum mechanics, or newer area of quantum mechanics, because quantum mechanics, it is very puzzling, and scientists have used it to create supercomputer or quantum computers and many other electronic device, but still we do not know how it works, because it has a very very interesting confusion it creates with the idea of reality, what we perceive or what we have learned throughout our life. And here is the twist, because in quantum field theory there are some suggestions. Actually, some of them have been proven in recent years, in 2025. So this is the most up-to-date theory of reality, and according to this quantum field theory, actually every particles, every quantum particles, we know that atoms, they are also composed of many other particles like quarks, gluons, and so on. And there are two types of particles, what creates the matters and others creates the energy. So we will not go to that details, it is not a science class. But anyway, this theory says that whatever we see, the energy or matter, they are not there actually. There are always the field, only the field. And field, we know that the magnetic field, because we are in earth, on earth we are living in magnetic field, and we cannot feel it, but some animals like birds, they have that capacity to navigate through magnetic fields, and we use in compass. And so this is field, and in that theory, according to that theory, when there is any excitation in the field, that excitation causes vibration in the field, and that vibration creates the apparent particles. So whatever particles we see or we made up of, these are all vibration in the quantum fields, and there are different kind of vibrations. For example, electron, for electron there are vibrations, for other different kind of quarks, the subatomic particles, there are vibrations. And these patterns, we are made up of patterns. So these patterns are not changing, so we sustain to be someone in particular. So these patterns are also created by the interaction of different excitations. So in the field there are excitation, and that creates the vibration, and when these interact with each other, they create distinct patterns. And today's meditation is about that quantum field, because today we will visualize those quantum fields, and when we will go through them, we will understand that actually everything is connected. Not only connected, everything is same. So actually there is no distinction between you and me or anyone else and anything else, as there is no distinction between the cells of our own bodies, because we consider them to be a whole person. My body, when I think my body, I do not consider it to be consisted of trillions of cells. We just think to be a single entity. So actually everything is a single entity, and that entity, that is the reality. But the reality we see or we feel or we know in our everyday life from our birth, that is a kind of illusion, very partial reality, and that is not please, and that is not very permanent anything. So now we can start our meditation. So for our meditation we will start from breathing. So we will breathe in counting from 1 to 4. So we can close our eyes and then we can start breathing counting from 1 to 4. Breathe, hold, counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out counting from 1 to 6. Again breathing exercise. Breathe in counting from 1 to 4. Breathe, hold, counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out counting from 1 to 6. So we are now in meditation, and today's topic is quantum field, and what I explained before starting the session, that actually it is a newer field of quantum mechanics, and proposed by some scientists, and they say that, and it is some of its aspects has been proven in recent years, that actually reality is made up of multiple fields, quantum fields, and when there is any kind of excitation, because of any kind of excitation, so that excitation causes the vibration in the field, and that vibration creates particles and creates energy or photon, everything. So what we look as reality are made up of that kind of interactions between different vibrations, and they creates that pattern we see all around us, including ourselves. Again breathing exercise, counting from 1 to 4. Breathe in, breathe, hold, counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out counting from 1 to 6. So what we are made up of, not only trillions of cells, we each individual are made up of particles, because cells are composed of particles, and if we pixelate it, if we just divide it into a smaller part, at some phase we will go to Planck scale, and that is the length, that is the minimum length which can be measured. Beyond that, actually reality shatters, and at that quantum length physical reality doesn't act as we know they are. So actually this kind of the physical laws what we know, they are all effective in a certain conditions. Again breathing exercise. Breathe in counting from 1 to 4. Breathe, hold, counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out counting from 1 to 6. 2 days back I watched a recent movie by Steven Spielberg. It was Disclosure Day, and it was about aliens, and there was a very interesting message in that movie. It was uttered by the aliens, and the translation is like that: do not be afraid what you do not know. And actually it is very important because our brains are hardwired to seek comfort, to seek stability, and to seek any to avoid from any kind of any possible danger. So it always tries to detect danger. That is why when something is unknown, we are afraid of that. We cannot, our brain cannot handle that uncertainty, unpredictability, or any lack of knowledge about something. So sometimes brain creates some shortcuts, sometimes brain imagines some things, and sometimes it just flee away. It can't take the knowledge or the lack of knowledge, that is the metacognition. But the more a person or humans know something or know, they accumulate knowledge, they can be sure that actually there are more to ask and there are more unknown. So the message was that instead of fear of unknown, we should embrace unknown and we should not afraid of unknown, because we don't need to be afraid of. Why? Here is today's session topic. Because everything is connected. What we can see in our observable universe and what is beyond that, or what is beyond other realms which we can never perceive, those all are the same thing or the same vibration or the same fields. So actually there is no differences. Again, breathing exercise, breathe in counting from 1 to 4, breathe hold counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out counting from 1 to 6. So if we just imagine how our bodies are created, are composed of, so we know there are multiple cells and they communicate with each other through some chemicals and actually electric signals, and these cells are composed of atoms and they are doing something very vast computational efforts, and actually we can never explain how this happens because it needs a huge computational power which cannot be explained by the existing mass of matter and energy, because it can't explain how a biological being they act or how they work so efficiently and so delicately, and it is still a big mystery. Again, breathing exercise, breathe in counting from 1 to 4, breathe hold counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out counting from 1 to 6. Now for the next few minutes we will just focus on our breath, how air goes into our lungs through our nose, through our throat, and how it comes out just naturally. We just focus on our natural breathing. Just focus it. We don't have to do anything. Just focus on our natural breathing, how air goes in and out. So we are all created by the fluctuation in quantum fields, and so everything is that fields including ourselves. So actually there is no differences, and this can be found that we are all the same when we focus on our breathing, because during our concentration on our breathing, our thoughts cannot haunt us. The default mode network in our brain, they cannot activate, and so they create all our autobiographical memory, all our thoughts about past and future, about ourselves, about the worlds. So that network is necessary for creativity, but that creates the illusion of self. So when it is deactivated during focusing on our breathing or any engagement in a work or in a task which is when we are solely engaged or in the flow, or while we are in sleep, that network cannot work. So during that time we cannot think of anything else. So we can just focus on our breathing, and then we can feel that we are vibration. We are created by vibration in the quantum fields. Just focus on our breathing. How air comes and goes through our nose. Just the natural breathing, not trying to change them. Focus on the breathing. Now we will again breathe in, counting from 1 to 4. Breathe hold, counting from 1 to 4. And breathe out, counting from 1 to 6. Now we will visualize a monitor in front of us, and in the left side we will see our own image, that as if there is a mirror in front of us, and so we are sitting and we just visualize how we are there, how we appear on the mirror in the left side of the screen, and in the right side we will visualize that our body, our appearance, our shapes has been dissolved, and we all have been the part of that vibration of fields in the right side of our monitor, of our imaginary monitor in front of us, while our eyes are closed. And while watching that two parts, we continue to just focus on our own natural breathing. On the left side, our physical body, and on the right side, when everything is fields of energy, interaction in the energy fields or vibrations. Just focus on our natural breathing. Focus on our breathing and watch in the monitor left side our physical body and right side the vibration pattern. So as there is all are vibrations, all are the fields interaction. Actually there is no distinction and there is nothing to hide, nothing to seek, nothing to know further, and so we know everything because we are part of everything, and whatever comes in our minds, that all like the waves in an ocean. So waves are part of ocean, so there is no distinction. A wave don't need to be feel alienated or isolated because it is part of the vastness, and we are the same. We are part of that infinite unknown. We are that unknown. We are that field interaction, and what beyond that we still do not know, but there are some assumptions. We have done sessions earlier about that our consciousness, that was some primitive something greater, and everything is that consciousness, and that consciousness actually creates the matters and the cosmos and the illusion of individual us. Again, breathing exercise, counting from 1 to 4, breathe in, breathe hold, counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out, counting from 1 to 6. Again, breathe in, counting from 1 to 4, breathe hold, counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out, counting from 1 to 6. And we'll do the breathing exercise once more, and then we will open our eyes. So breathe in, counting from 1 to 4, breathe hold, and breathe out. Now we can open our eyes. And so this is the end of today's session, and I am saying goodbye from Facebook Live. See you again, hopefully next week.